Hey there, I'm Ellen Wright, a family law attorney here in Massachusetts, and today I want to have a very real, very necessary conversation with a very specific group of people. Those of you sitting in relationships that don't look abusive on paper, but sure as hell don't feel safe either. You haven't been hit, no broken bones, no 911 calls. So why are you constantly second-guessing yourself? And why does it feel like you're living in a fog where you can't even trust your own memory, let alone your own instincts? That's not a bad mood, that's not a rough patch. That might just be emotional abuse. And if you're squirming already, good. Stay with me because today we're digging into what emotional abuse actually looks like, why it's so hard to recognize and even harder to leave, and lastly, what your legal options are if you're in Massachusetts. And best of all, we're going to talk about how to start protecting yourself quietly, safely, and smartly. So let's get into it. So what does emotional abuse actually look like? Well, let's start with the biggest misconception out there, that if no one is hitting you, it's not abuse. Wrong. At the end of the day, abuse is about control, not contact. It's about power dynamics that slowly crush your confidence and isolate you from your support system, all while your partner insists that they're just trying to help. So what does it look like in your situation? Well, maybe they need to know where you are at all times, who you're texting, what you're spending, how long you were a target for. Maybe you've been told that you're lazy, dramatic, ungrateful, but then you're blamed for being too sensitive when you finally get the courage to call them out. Maybe no matter how much effort you put in, it's never enough, and somehow you're always the one who ends up apologizing. Sound familiar? Then hear this loud and clear. That's not love. That's not just how they are. That, my friend, is emotional abuse. Common signs include the classic gaslighting, isolation from friends, family, or anyone who might see clearly, constant criticism or sarcastic jokes at your expense, control over money, transportation, or access to resources, and withholding affection or communication as a means of punishment. Now, let's talk about why it's so hard to see and even harder to leave. Emotional abuse is incredibly hard to spot when you're living inside of it. You've probably spent years rationalizing their behavior. He doesn't mean it, or she's just stressed. I need to work on myself. Or maybe you've thought this is just how relationships are after a while. No. This is how bad relationships are. And the cruel irony of it all is that the more resilient, compassionate, and resourceful you are, the longer you're going to tend to stay because you keep thinking, I can fix this. So let me say this clearly without legalese or sugarcoating. You are not crazy, you are not weak, you are not too emotional, and you are definitely not imagining it. You're trying to survive in an environment that has been built, intentionally or not, to keep you small. And staying doesn't make you loyal, it just leaves you unsupported. But that can change. Now let's change gears and talk about your legal options in Massachusetts. You've probably been told that unless there's physical abuse, the courts don't care. This too is false. In Massachusetts, you can petition for a 209A restraining order based on emotional abuse. Yes, even without police reports, even without visible injuries. If there's a pattern of fear, intimidation, control, or manipulation, the law gives you tools. You can also request temporary custody of your children to protect them from further harm, ask for exclusive use of the home so that you're not stuck under the same roof as your abuser. You can block financial retaliation by protecting access to shared assets. And you can present emotional abuse in custody and divorce proceedings because judges do take it seriously when it's documented. No, it won't all happen overnight, but this is not a legal dead end. You do have rights. So how do you start to protect yourself? Now, here's what I'm not going to tell you. Just leave. If it were that easy, let's be honest, you wouldn't still be here. But what you can do is start building a quiet plan. No grand exits, no you'll be sorry speeches, just small steps towards safety. Start with this. Document everything. Save text messages, record dates and details. Keep a journal if you can do it safely. Secure your documents, ID, financial records, health info. Keep copies in a secure location or digitally stored where your partner can't find it. Talk to someone objective, a lawyer, a therapist, a domestic violence advocate, not your sister who likes them now that they've been polite at brunch. Don't share your plan, not with your partner, not on social media. not with anyone who might tip them off. Silence, in this case, is strength. You're not being dramatic, you're being strategic. You're not overreacting, you're reclaiming your power. You deserve more than an "at least don't hit me." Emotional abuse doesn't announce itself, it whispers, it undermines, it slowly convinces you that you're broken and lucky anyone would want you at all. But I'm here to remind you, you are not too much, you are not asking for perfection, you are asking for dignity, for peace, and for safety. You don't have to wait for things to get worse before choosing better. And if all you do right now is gather information or let this message settle in your bones, that's a beginning. When you're ready for your next step, whether that's legal advice or just a reality check, I'm here, and so is your next chapter.